we made adjustments to our position of attention for exhibition drill, then the next logical place we're going to make adjustments is to our position of port arms. Now we know, for regulation drill, port arms, we carry the rifle at a 45-degree angle, bisecting the angle formed by the neck and the shoulder. We release our grasp with the right hand and grasp the small of the stock in a position which is parallel to the ground. And this is a great position to carry the rifle for long distances or short distances. It's very relaxed. And the challenge with using this position of port arms for exhibition drill is that it's a very hard position to return to. 45 degrees could be here. It 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 could be here. There's really no way to, in an expedient fashion, make sure that everyone is hitting this precise angle. And I don't want to spend all my time in my routines worrying about, is my 45-degree angle perfect? Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to carry the rifle to a vertical position. So the command is port arms, just as in regulation drill. The exhibition version of port that I'm about to show you is 3 counts total. The words are port, arms, clap. Port, arms, clap. And it looks like this. Port, arms, clap. On the first count of port arms, remember we made the adjustment from holding behind to holding in front. This is going to allow us to bring the rifle straight up the center of our body. And when we do this, we're really employing the grip of our thumb, our index, and our middle finger. And we're thinking about raising the rifle directly up the center of the face. So when we do this, you can follow along slowly with me. When we do this, we grasp the rifle, we turn the sling so it's facing to our left side, and we begin to bring the rifle straight up in front. As we bring the rifle up, this hand, with a full open hand, rises up to grasp the rifle in a position, this L right here, is going to fit right into the rifle here, and we're going to wind up in a position where our hands are basically stacked. One is above the band, and one is below the band, and our arms are going to be held at comfortable 45-degree angles. We don't have to tighten up. We certainly don't want to try to crunch this arm in as we do here. We want nice, easy angles. As soon as we reach that position, we're going to do it slowly again together. Again, we grasp, raise, bring our hand forward, and grasp the rifle just below the band. Our top hand comes away. It comes around, and it goes in. From this position, our hand goes forward, and then it comes back onto the rifle. And what this allows us to do, if there was a little bit of imprecision, if we missed our positioning of our hand on that first count, when we come to the third count, we can reposition our hand at the proper position just below the band. So, in slow motion one more time, and walk through this with me. In slow motion one more time, we lift. We turn the sling to the left. We bring our hand out to the front, and we make contact with the rifle. We bring our right hand away, away, and in. We bring our hand forward, and we clap the rifle. In full speed, or a little bit more of a quick cadence, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, which would be port, arms, clap. Notice that as we do this, there's a couple of key points. First and foremost, we don't want to march around the drill meet being the little drill team that could. We want to make sure that every time we make contact with the rifle, that we have a full arm extension as we move to hit that rifle. 2, we want to make sure that we are contacting the rifle with the meaty part, the back part of our hand, so when we bring that rifle up, that meaty part of the hand is what's meeting that rifle at the contact point. If we hit with our knuckles or our fingers, that could be somewhat damaging, and it also isn't going to give us the best possible sound from this movement. And so, the third piece of the puzzle is really important here. We bring the rifle up. When we bring this hand around, notice where I'm grasping the rifle. My hand is sitting directly underneath the back of the bolt handle, which means that if I tuck my elbow into my body, and this is parallel, I can basically balance the rifle on my hand. Why is that important? I don't want to expend a bunch of muscle holding my rifle up at port arms. It's an 8.5-pound rifle. It is somewhat heavy. This is exhibition drill. It is somewhat taxing. If I hold the rifle lower, now I'm worried about, okay, one, my hand positioning can look different from somebody else's, but two, now I'm using the small muscles in my forearm to squeeze the rifle, whereas if I raise my hand up, simply wrap my fingers around, tuck my elbow in, I can look very, very strong and very, very intense. I'm actually right now not gripping the rifle at all. I'm not squeezing. I'm simply letting the rifle and the natural physics of the balance of the rifle sit back into my shoulder, which means it's sitting back into my back muscles, and my big muscles in my back and my shoulder are carrying the rifle, not the small muscles of my forearm and my bicep. So when we wind up in our ending position, very important that we get underneath the handle and we learn to let the rifle sit here with this arm parallel to the ground. If you do those two things, the natural consequence is that we will wind up not hugging the rifle. It won't be too far away. It'll be sitting in the most optimal spot for us to execute all of our drill movements from. So let's demonstrate this once again. And remember, the words are port, arms, clap. Here we go. Port, arms, clap. And in full speed. Port, arms,